The meat of relating is communication. It's the moments of speaking and listening and being together and what's possible from that. When I was growing up as a kid, as a teenager, even as a young adult, I had almost no training in communication. Most of the training that I got was sit down when the teacher speaks, you listen. When your father yells at you, you stop crying. This was my training in communication. It's like, as I'm researching more and more what it takes to shift my orientation to the world, to be able to relate to people and to others, to my partners, in a way that collaboration is possible, being together is possible, something else is possible other than the way it's been going, what I get is foundational stuff like, what is communication? So it turns out communication has two parts. One part is someone is speaking, the other part is someone is listening. And I used to think that the speaker was the one who was in control of the conversation. It turns out, as I look deeper, it's really the listener who impacts what is possible from a conversation. So when two people are in a conversation, when they're communicating, one person's speaking, one person's listening, if they don't identify either within themselves or together what kind of communication it is, then it is the default communication. And by default, I mean most of us live in modern society, and the context of and culture of modern society kind of prevails over that relating space, even if it is a little bit edgy. And in modern culture, normal communicating, normal speaking and listening is that the speaker is speaking for themselves. They have something they want to say, they want to share, and they say it. And the person listening is also listening for themselves, listening for the opportunity when they can say how it is for them or what is happening for them. For example, oh, it's so hard being a woman, being a mother, taking care of my children, needing to work and provide for my family. And the listener replies with, yes, it is so hard for me too to do all of these things and then take care of myself. How am I supposed to take care of myself? And the conversation goes on and on and on. And it's not good or bad, this kind of communicating. It does get certain results. And one of the results that it gets is that the speaker has an impulse. They have a purpose for speaking, whether they're aware of it or not. And when the listener is only speaking for themselves, they're blocking that thing that the speaker is saying. And so the conversation, the message, the communication is blocked. And then it happens again on the other side. It's not bad. It really just comes with certain consequences. There's other kinds of speaking of and listening, which I'm sure you have experienced. One of them is adult speaking and adults listening, where the speaker is sharing their message and the listener is listening to the message. And the purpose of the conversation, it becomes a space of for us. I am speaking for us. I am listening for us. And this is nourishing us. And I think this is probably most of the conversations that I have with people in my circle. And it really requires the listener to not interject themselves into what the speaker is saying, but instead catch what the speaker is saying, even reflect it back to them, ask them questions about it, open up the conversation or the topic a little bit more. One of the consequences of these kinds of conversations are, it's for us. We get to be together. And this feeds me. I'm not so depleted. I want to keep having conversation with you. This is the tip of the iceberg of what's possible in a conversation. A speaker can be speaking for themselves, for us, whatever the group is. The speaker can also be speaking to source possibility for someone, where the speaker becomes a channel where forces can work through them, and things that the speaker says is actually bigger than that person's personality or what is normal for them. A speaker can be speaking for Gaia. A speaker can be saying the things that need to be said for the future, for humanity, for someone that needs to hear it to keep going on their path of being alive in their life. A listener can listen for anything. When I am listening for myself, I get a blocked conversation. When I am listening for us, I get a space where we are together. Your communication is getting completed and we are being together. When I am listening for possibility, I am listening to what you are saying, and in between, the forces of possibility are working through you and I am catching them. I can be listening for the universe unfolding itself in what you're saying. That in the moment of listening to you, what you are saying is a reflection of Gaia, of God, of the universe happening and unfolding through you being alive. And the quality of listening in that way is very different than the quality of listening for myself or even listening for us. So next time you're with another person and you're communicating, you're having a conversation, will you identify which kind of speaking is happening, which kind of listening is happening, and what do you want? What kind of speaking and listening do you want, and how can you source it?